You ready to put up the walls of the babe bus? Before we start, I need to recognize that I understand that I have hurt some feelings because people on YouTube are not used to something so tiny saying such foul words.
Shut the fuck up.
I also understand that most van life channels involve a very adorable, well-spoken, soft-spoken couple and their shelter dog who's named after their favorite alcohol from college, like Guinness or Jaeger. They have surfboards and smoothie makers. Well, that is not this channel. This channel is designed to be the no bullshit guide to everything I wish I had found on the internet before I started this mess. So if it makes you uncomfortable, I make no apologies, and you can get to know those kind, friendly, approachable folks over there on their channel over a plate of kale chips. Let's rock and roll. For all the whining and bitching I did about insulating this van was nothing compared to the effort it took to get the framing up and the plywood. I had to DD it, damsel in distress, twice during this project. The first time was when I went to Lowe's and was like an angry little cat trying to pull down these big ass sheets of plywood 4 feet by 8 feet from the high shelves. Luckily, Lowe's is filled with men who you can trick into helping you just by the sight of skin-tight yoga pants. Thanks, boys. The other time was just in getting the plywood up, and for that I had to ask my dear friends, Timmy and Sue, to please come over and help me because I could not physically lift the plywood and nail it in. It is really a two-person job. I don't care who you are, I'm all about female empowerment, but this part you absolutely need 2 people to pull off. Alright, so let's start with the floors first. In the ProMaster 2500, which is what I have, you are going to be cutting around wheel wells and the doors, and there's all kinds of curves. It's just a hard thing to measure out and cut. So I decided to get out my paper and make a massive stencil of the entire floor. It added a lot of time, but it saved me a whole world of hurt. So I laid out the paper, cut it out, stenciled it out, and then I took plywood 1/2 inch in the 4 feet by 8 feet sections, lined it all out down my driveway, put down the stencil, drew it, cut it once, and popped it in. I would recommend that when you are laying down your floor that you go front to back or back to front and not put down the alternative, which would be to take 2 sheets and lay them down like this so your seam would be in the center. And while this may work out fine, my concern there was that once I put weight on the left and right of the van, that seam would pop up. So I went 1, 2, 3, right down. All right, now I did not nail or really attach the floor to the van, and that's because there's going to be an awful lot of weight on top of it anyway. So it's a floating floor. If you want to seal your floor down, great, but I didn't feel like it was necessary. That stencil really helped out around the wheel wells, and when I got those floorboards down and they actually fit, there was a little bit of a happy dance. Yes! And then it was time to get the sides up. Now, if you're in the middle of your van build, like me, you've probably watched a lot of YouTube videos to figure out how to get the walls up. And everyone does this slightly different. And that's probably because each van is framed differently. So everything I'm going to tell you is what I did for the ProMaster 2500. If you've got a different height, different width, different van, do it your own way. But I will say, in a lot of the videos, I noticed people frame out the entire van. I mean, adding furring strips or studs to every god-blessed inch of this thing. And I just couldn't figure out why, because when you're framing walls in a house, you're trying to add plumb, flush, level, supports, and structure. Well, you can't ask for better studs than the ribs of these vans. They are made out of metal, they are not going anywhere. So to completely reframe them seemed a little bit extra. So I'll call them the alpha studs. These are the central, thick metal ribs that are in the center, on the sides, and running right across your van. To me, that was the best stud I could possibly use. So when I looked at the interior framework of my van, I decided that in order to get the plywood up, what I would need to do is get furring strips, which are 1x2 pieces of wood. They come in all different lengths, sizes, and widths. But get those attached to the beta ribs, which were not as deep as the alpha rib in the center, and really just beef those up so that everything was flush and flat with that center alpha rib. I should have taken this piece of my own advice about, I don't know, at the beginning of doing this, but when I got halfway through and I was just running back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, measuring and cutting, I remembered that when I did my house, I had a damn cut sheet. So save yourself some time and headache and measure out all the furring strips and all the pieces of plywood, write them down, and then go cut them all at once. It was really helpful to take a permanent marker and label A, B, C, D, E, etc., and then the length on the actual wall of the van, and then label the piece of wood. That way I could just throw them all in here once they were cut and do all the drilling at one time. Now you need to pick the type of screw that will get the furring strip or whatever you've chosen to use into the metal of the van. And you will piss yourself the first time you put a screw through your van. You will jump out and look around the side and think, oh my God, is it gonna go through the van? If you stick to only screwing into where the ribs are, you should be fine. And just common sense it. Look at how deep the screw is, look at how deep the rib is, you'll be fine. All right, you can find these at Lowe's, Amazon, Home Depot, your local hardware store. Always good to support small business. All right, so for the most part, I used the 1 1/4 inch lath screw, and then in a couple occasions, like when I was dealing with the alpha rib, I used the deeper 1 5/8. A lath screw is meant to attach metal to metal, all right? You're gonna use it to attach wood to metal. A regular wood screw is not going to work, all right? They look like this, and I've got some video of them, but this is what's called a self-tapping screw. And really, this end here is what is designed to grab onto that metal and help pull it through. The next thing you will need are the right tools. And good God Almighty, when I started doing this, I was using what is the equivalent of a Fisher-Price My First Drill set. This does not have enough ass on it to get a screw through metal. All right, it was fine when I renovated my house and was attaching wood to wood. This is a different monster. You are going to wear out the battery and you are going to wear out yourself if you do not use the right drill. I know. When I finally caved and asked for some help from my friend Timmy and Sue, he brought over...
Yes. I have study you.
This thing. This is called an impactor drill. And when I started using this, the skies opened up, the angels started singing, and the walls went right up.
Look at that. Inspiration.
All right, impactor drill or some kind of electric cord drill, you need a drill with some ass. Otherwise, this is gonna take forever. It took us about 4 hours to get the plywood up, and most of that time was spent by Timmy and I making really inappropriate jokes while Sue filmed us.
Would you look at that? Just open your eyes and look at it. It's the vibration action.
And the thrust.
Yeah. It's gonna be on. You're going the wrong way, Kate.
Shut up! Like, I want to be a good Christian girl, but I have these friends.
Look at that. Look at that. Good words.
A level and a chalk line are really going to help you out when you're putting up the plywood. One, to make sure that you keep in line with your furring strips, but two, it will also be a reminder of where those alpha ribs are, so that when you're hanging your cabinets or putting anything else into the plywood, you know where your studs are. It's not like a house where you can measure 16 on center and just hope to God you get it right. If you get it wrong, you're going to put a nail through the side of your van. Not good. So while I used 1/2 inch plywood for the floors, I used a cabinet grade plywood. It is very smooth, It is much lighter than the other plywood, a little bit more expensive, but that will give you a beautiful surface to work with. Now, if you're just gonna go put up cedar panels, which seems to be what everyone does for their van conversion, then I don't know that you would need plywood. I mean, you can just nail those babies into the ribs, but up to you. I'm using a siding that I've not seen on any van conversion, and I'm not gonna tell you what it is because I want it to be a surprise. So I'm gonna save that till the very end, but I knew that I would need full plywood to get my siding finished. So think about it. If you think you're gonna need a full flat solid surface, then go ahead and choose cabinet grade plywood to go up the sides, up the roof, and over, and if not, just put the siding up. I didn't put plywood on the lower part of the van, and that's because cabinets are going to go there, so it would be a bit redundant to put plywood and then put in cabinet boxes. If you want to do it, rock and roll, but I just chose to save some money on plywood by not putting it where there's going to be a cabinet box. It's finally starting to feel a little bit more homey in here and a little less industrial van. I hope that the hardest part of this is pretty much over because this has been a lot of work. I've had it for almost a month and I feel like I've not made much progress. In my defense, it's been raining for about 3 weeks in North Carolina. I have a date at Lowe's in those yoga pants so I can get some damn help around here. I'm picking up my kitchen cabinets. I got a sweet ass deal on some cabinets. I'm excited to see those in here, and we are really moving along. So next video will either be putting in the kitchen cabinets or the refrigerator that I bought for the van just arrived. It is heavy as all hell. It is not the one that everybody else recommends, and I'll explain that. But if you'd like to see one before the other, please just leave a comment in the comment section below. And then if you don't want to watch all of this again to get all the tips for what I used to frame out and wall up my van, then there is a blog post that's associated with this video that you can refer back to instead of having to listen to my voice. And that is at www.babecavebuilds.com. www.babecavebuilds.com. Thank you so much for watching, and not sorry about all that swearing, and I will see you at the next video.